Hello my friends, and welcome to another chair yoga video. I'm Nina G, and I'm very glad that you're here. I'm calling today's video Tiny Acts. I'm calling it that because it's a slightly shorter video, trying to keep it under 30 minutes, and we're going to do some small things that will perhaps make a big difference in how we feel physically and how we feel emotionally. So you'll need your chair. I'm going to use this block to connect my feet to the floor, and we'll get started. We'll begin in our chair, and we're going to sit away from the back of the chair so that we have that opportunity to sit up tall. You may want that block to connect your feet to the floor if you don't feel that really good connection. Depends on how long your legs are. So I'm not right at the edge of my chair, I'm kind of in the middle. I will use the block. I can push into the feet to sit up taller. And before we do anything, we're going to do a quick check-in. We'll take our time a little bit later, but let's just see how things feel right now. Notice what your breath is like. Notice how the physical body feels. And notice how you feel mentally and emotionally. And once we've done that brief check-in, let's start to move. My hands are on my lap, palms are down, and I'm just going to start to make some circles with my shoulders, bringing the shoulders forward and then up and back and down. And my hands are just going along for the ride. Yours may or may not travel, that's fine. But I'm maintaining that tall spine as I'm making these circles. And then we'll do one more like this, and then we'll pause and let the circles go in the other way. So together, back, up, forward, and down. Allowing the circles to go in the other direction. And then pause. Notice how the posture is. See if you need to readjust. One thing that I notice I do is I hinge forward a lot, so I have to make sure my shoulders are over my hips, and then I can bring my ears over my shoulders. Now that we're here, back in our nice tall spine, let's do our owl turn. So let's look first over one shoulder, and then very slowly come back to center and look over the other shoulder. Now, we're not tying this to our breath yet. So just work with the breath, slow and even breaths, allowing the breath to slow down. And we know that movements with the neck need to be slow and gentle. And as we're doing this, your eyes could be open or closed. You decide what you want. If your eyes are open, look at everything. And come back to center. And if you want to close your eyes but not all the way, just a gentle gaze on the ground will work well too. Now we're going to do our dog tilt, so we'll take one ear down to one shoulder. Stay here, slow down the breath. Notice sensations in the sides of the neck. See if you can imagine your elbows are heavy and the elbows are helping to keep the shoulders down. And then come back through center. We'll go the other direction, other ear, other shoulder. And come back to center. Let's do that one more time, ear to shoulder. Return to center and ear to shoulder. And return. And now I feel like, oh, I want to take another circle or two with those shoulders, and that's fine. Listen to what the body says. Let this be a very organic movement. Let's come back and forth now with the head. So let's drop the chin to the chest. Spine is tall except for the head and neck, and we're just letting the heaviness of the head fall forward. The chin is resting on the chest, and we're breathing here. And then we're going to bring the teeth together and lift the chin. And you might lift the chin a little bit above where it normally is. And notice a stretch in the front of the throat. And then return to neutral, and we'll do that one more time. Allow the chin and the head to be heavy. Let them fall forward. We still are imagining those heavy elbows. And then pick up the chin, bring the teeth together, and lift the chin. And then return to neutral. Pause and check in. Maybe you need that circle with the shoulders. Go ahead. I'm just going to turn my chair just a little bit here so you can see this next one better. We'll reach our arms forward, palms are up, pinky fingers will touch. And now we will move with the breath. So as we inhale, we're going to open one arm out to the side. We're going to follow it with our head and our eyes. So we've got that neck turn in, as well as a little bit of a twist. And then we're going to exhale and return. Palms, pinkies together. Inhale, open in the other direction. And exhale, return. Now, I'd like you to go only as far as is comfortable for you. So this does not have to be your full range of motion. But just notice how it feels and go as far as you want to, stopping when you decide. Let this be organic. Listen to what your body's telling you. And if that's all going well, then you might want to play with it a little bit. What happens if we take our arm up above the plane of the shoulder? We're still following it with our eyes, with our head. And remember that we're not in any type of hurry. What happens if you take the arm below the plane of the shoulder? We'll finish this round. Pause here. And then we're going to stack those palms at heart center. Slide yourself back to the back of the chair. Take a moment right now to set an intention for this practice, whatever it is that's important to you today. And then we're going to release those hands back down to the lap and pause and check in. How does the body feel right now after those tiny acts of movement that we did? Were we able to release any tension that was resident in the head, neck, and shoulders? And then we'll slide to the edge of the chair. This time we'll move that block out of the way. So we don't need it right now. We're going to sit close enough to the edge that our feet are firmly connected to the earth and we can feel that connection. Bring the hands to the lap. Let's bring the belly button back around the spine. Let the shoulders separate. Here we are in our cat pose. And then as we inhale, we'll push into the feet. Lift the sternum, lift the chin, lift the gaze, come into our cow pose. So let's just do a few rounds of this cat and cow. Rounding and arching. And again, we're moving with that breath, that slow and even breath. And after your next exhale, whenever that may be, we'll come back to that nice tall spine. I'm going to put one hand down on the edge of my chair, and if your chair has an arm on it, you could even rest your forearm on the arm. And then the other arm's going to release down, and I'm going to take it up and over for a little side body stretch. Now, it doesn't have to be a long arm. We know we can always take it to a cactus, to a little salute, or hand to shoulder. Breathing into that side body, expanding and contracting the space between the ribs. And then come back to center, release the arm, we'll go the other way. Inhale, take that other arm up, lean over to the side. Arm is wherever it's right for you. And then come on back to center. And let's do a few with the breath. So we'll inhale, lift it up. And to exhale, return. And then the other side. And return. Let's do one more round just like that. Slow and even breath. And then pause and check in. Let the hands rest in the lap. Maybe take a circle with those shoulders. Move the head and neck. Move the feet. See how that feels. But check in with how the body feels now. And then we're going to make our way to standing. We will come to Tadasana, our mountain pose. But you'll notice that I've cleared my space, I've picked up my block, put it on the seat of my chair, and I've got the chair close by in case I need it. I can also use the wall behind me for balance. Let's find our Tadasana. Stand up tall and just do a little shift side to side, noticing the weight shifting from one foot into the other. And then do a little front and back shift. I always find that one interesting. My toes curl under and grip and say, oh no. And then my heels rest. So just notice what it feels like as you do this. And then pause and we'll do a diagonal. So I'm going to go from my back left heel to the pinky toe side of my right foot. Just making a little diagonal shift here. Hands can just rest alongside the body. And then let's shift from I'm going from the back of my right heel to the pinky toe side of my left heel. A little diagonal shift. And then find center. So we've explored all those different places. Where's center? And once you find it, let's make that spine tall. Make sure we're standing upright. Shoulders are over hips. My ears are over my shoulders. Nice tall spine. Now, we're going to add on a little bit here. So, as we inhale, let's take one arm up and exhale, float it back down. And then we'll try the other one. And you know what? Let's take it to a cactus today. Inhale, go back to the first arm. And return, soften into the knees as we come down. And then other arm. Let the arm come down, knees are soft. Okay, you know we're going to add on. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to lift up the one arm into a cactus. We're going to pick up opposite knee. Just as high as is comfortable. And then the foot comes down, the arm comes down, my knees are soft. And we switch to the other side. A little shift and lift, I call it. Lower, knees are soft. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knees are soft. We shift the weight. And then we inhale, lift. Now, we can skip the arms and just do the legs if we like, or I showed you the part where we just do the arms. So you have many choices here. But what I'd like us to work on is controlling this movement all the way down and all the way up. So don't let momentum or gravity take control. We'll do one more round each side. And then lower everything back down. Pause and check in. Little cross the brain there, across the midline of the brain. Some work there. Contralateral movements. Okay, and then we're going to turn and look at our chair, the back of the chair. Working with our warrior one. So I'm going to take my right leg back, my left knee is forward. I can use the chair to help support me or the wall. So don't worry about balance because we've got a lot of support here. If balance is okay today, we'll bring left hand to left hip. The right arm is down. Let's straighten that leg. And as we inhale, we're going to bend the knee, reach the arm forward and up, coming into warrior one. And then exhale, push into the foot, lower the arm. And connect the movement of the arm with the bend of that front knee. Slow and even breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Now this next time, we'll inhale, bend the knee, reach the arm up. As we exhale, we'll stay here, release your left arm down. And then as you inhale, the option is to lift up left arm. So we're in our warrior one with both arms lifted, or 1 or 0. You decide where you need to be. Warrior one. Now, we're going to straighten that leg. Let's float our arms down and let's take one hand to opposite shoulder. Doesn't matter which one, but just notice which arm's on top because we're going to try and switch them. So this time when we inhale, we'll bend the knee, open the arms wide. As we exhale, we straighten the leg, cross the hands to opposite shoulders again, this time different arm on top. Inhale, open wide, bend the knee. Exhale, cross, straighten the leg. Now you can add in the head as well, lifting the chin, lowering the chin. We'll do one more. I think I got mixed up on my arm cross, but that's okay. And then pause here. Recall that intention. We'll release the arms. We'll step towards the chair. Check in with the differences between the sides on the legs. Notice how things might feel differently. And then we'll go to the other side. So my left leg steps back, my right foot is forward, right knee bends over that right ankle. And then I'm going to straighten that leg. I'm going to bring my right hand to my hip. As I inhale, I bend the knee, reach the arm up. And we're just as high as is comfortable today. You're in charge. Tying the motion of the arm and the motion of that opposite knee. And the next time that we're in our warrior one, we'll let the inhale take us there. As we exhale, release the right arm. And then inhale, float it up next to its neighbor. Or again, one or both hands can be on the chair or on the wall. Breathing here. Now we'll float the arms down, we'll straighten the leg. Take fingertips to opposite shoulders. And then inhale, bend the knee, open the arms wide. Exhale, cross, different arm on top perhaps. So there's a lot happening in this pose. We'll do one more, finishing up with arms crossed, leg is straight, drop your chin. Pause and check in with how things feel. And then we'll release those arms, step your back foot forward. Check in with the hips, with the legs, do any wiggling and jiggling, whatever you want to do. And let's do a little forward fold now, just to the back of the chair. So I'm not too far from the back of my chair. My feet are parallel. I'm in a Tadasana stance here. And I'm going to soften my knees and just begin to hinge forward. I can keep my hands here, long spine. You see I'm at an angle. Or I can take it down, forearms, long spine, hips go back. Let my forehead rest on the back of my forearms even. And let's just bring a little symmetry back into the body after all of that left, right, cross body stuff. And then we're going to soften into the knees and make our way back up to standing. Okay, we're going to do some very interesting balance work today, kind of tying everything together. You know, I love that. So here's what we're going to do. As we inhale, we'll take the right arm up. We'll take it to a cactus. As we exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Now, I'm using my hand on the chair. I'm going to hinge forward with my upper body. Lift up left leg. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, arm goes down. And then we do the other side. So inhale, left arm up. Let's take it to a cactus. Exhale, hinge forward. Lifting right leg, hinge forward. Inhale, come back. Exhale, arm down. Switch sides. Now, we know that that hinge forward might mean the toe is still on the ground, or it might be farther than that. That's fine. Come on back up. Bring it down. Other side. Do one more like that. So we're finishing up with the left hand lifting, right leg reaching back. And now we're going to stay in the pose. So let's take that right arm up, whatever up means today. As we hinge forward, it's that left leg that lifts. We're going to stay here wherever we are. We have that spine long. We're going to breathe here. And then come on back up to standing. Float the arm down on the exhale. Maybe shake out the legs. We're going to do the other side. Inhale, left arm. As we exhale, we start to hinge forward and that right leg reaches back. You might be here or here. And we're going to stay wherever we are in the pose and breathe. You could even straighten that front arm if you wanted to. And then come on back up. Float the arm back down. Pause and check in. Notice how you feel. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a forward fold to the seat of the chair. I'm going to move my chair back just a little bit and come to the other side, facing the seat of the chair now. Again, we did all that. One side, the other side, opposite arm and leg. Now we bring it all back together with a nice forward fold. So I'm in my mountain pose again. My feet are parallel and pretty much right under my hips. Get tall in the spine, soften into the knees. Bring your hands to the seat of the chair. So here I am with a long spine. I can even tuck my chin and keep the back of the neck long as well. This might be where you are in your fold. Or again, you have the option to come down to forearms. Forearms on a block are interesting too. Or you could bring your forehead to the back of your forearms or your fist. Breathing in this forward fold. And then we'll soften into the knees. Bring the palms to the seat of the chair if they're not already there. Make your way back up to standing. And then we're going to sit down again. So I'm back in my chair. I'm going to slide my body to the back, connect my feet to the earth, either through the soles of my feet directly on the floor or with this nice block. Turn the palms up in your lap. Let the shoulders come down from the ears. Again, imagine the heaviness in those elbows. And check in with how the body feels now after these tiny acts of movement, of breathing. Notice if we've been able to release any tension or anxiety. Notice how you feel now. And then we'll wiggle our fingers and turn the hands at the wrists. Wiggle your toes and come up onto one set of toes at a time. Very gently, we'll turn the head, do those owl turns again, looking in one direction. And then slowly look in the other way. And return to center. Let's slide to the edge of our chair, connect our feet to the floor. Reach those palms forward again, pinkies touch. Take an inhale. And then let's bring all of that positive energy into the heart center. Tuck your chin, soften or close your eyes. Recall your intention. And then thank yourself for taking time out of your busy day to practice this tiny act of kindness to yourself. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. It's an honor to create these videos for you, my friends. Stay well, and I'll see you again soon.